I'm Kara Redman. I'm going to be talking tonight about not only why women need sponsors, but how you can also support them. I want to give thanks also to Bridget Warner for mentoring and supporting me through this talk, which is a little terrifying. I'm going to share some of my story with you, and hopefully it sparks something and makes you want to make some changes where you are. All set. So I met my first mentor, Bill, when I was a leasing agent and property management company, and I was super bored, and I really wanted to work at the corporate office, but I had no education and no skills. For some reason, he decided to bring me into the office anyway. At the time, it was a huge opportunity for me, and I was really delighted. Bill saw something in me that at the time I didn't yet believe in. Nobody else that I knew believed in. He talked to me like I was an equal. He talked to me like I mattered. And one year, instead of a promotion, he gave me college tuition fully paid and told me to stop underestimating myself. And then a few years later, I met this powerhouse of a PhD, Lee George, who's phenomenal. She's tenacious, she's ferocious, and she set the same high standards for me as well. Since I started working with her, my career skyrocketed. I had so much faith in my capabilities, and because of the both of them, I started my own business. And when I start talking about this story and I tell it at networking events, it really does sound like this success story about the American dream. And there are a lot of things that I don't share over cocktails that I'm going to talk about tonight. That happened to me and also happened to, I think, a lot of other women, and maybe some of this will sound familiar. Just a quick backstory on Kara and how I grew up and where I'm from. My sisters and I were raised in the household of go out, marry great men that can support your lifestyle, and don't even think about having your own career path. And obviously my sister and I were not really excited about that whole trajectory that was set for us. And so I kind of job hopped and just kind of faked it till I made it, figuring out what I needed to do when I needed to have it, failed a lot, got fired a lot, but figured it out. And in retrospect, I really wish that I'd had somebody to kind of show me what sort of things happen in this environment when you're a woman trying to climb the corporate ladder and some of the backhanded things that can happen. For example, I've redacted it because I know there are kids here, but you can kind of guess what this email says. And this was sent to me when I was about 23 from a C-level at a very prominent corporation. And I had no idea what to do. I was completely ashamed. And I went to my direct supervisor, who obviously didn't know what to do either. And so he pulled us into a room and said, well, what happened? And he said, oh, Kara and I play around like that all the time. I had no idea how to deal with a conflict with a C-level, so I just went with it and went back to my desk. And then a few years later, something else happened that was less blatant, which is very similar to this. I shared an idea that I thought was really great with my team and with my boss, who was younger than me, which was really frustrating. But he basically berated me and belittled me for wasting his time. And a few weeks later, an email circulated from him with the same idea as his. And so again, I shrink back and I think, I don't know what to do. I feel ashamed. I don't want to lose my job, not really knowing how to handle this. And so he silenced me, and I hid. And I want to be very clear that a woman mentor is not going to come in and fix it, and she's not going to do what I wish that I did back then. But what she will do is she'll help me to navigate those waters, and she'll say, here's how you advocate for yourself, and here's how you say, hey, dude, that was my idea. And what else they can do is come in and help doing role playing so that you can negotiate for a salary increase, or help you with your resume, or make introductions. You can get access to business capital if you're starting your own business. And they can say things like this that my mentor said to me 10 years ago. When we start supporting women, we are gaining a force of very powerful leaders that support men as well. They invest back into their communities. They inspire other women to become mentors. And they're really a powerful driving socioeconomic force in our community. And so today, I don't want to just talk about this and sort of tell my story and complain about what I've been through. I want to let this be a call to action. And I would love for everyone in here to take personal accountability for figuring out what are your unconscious biases, what sort of things are happening in your workplace, and speak up and do something. And there are tons of resources in Baltimore already that are supporting similar initiatives, whether as an individual or a business. Tell women that they're available, tell your boss that they're available, and start to do something about it. And I also want to be very clear that this is not a women's issue, and I think that sometimes men hear women's issue and they zone out because they think it doesn't apply to them. But men in here, your voice holds the most power because you're privileged. And when men speak up for me, when men have spoken up for me, and when men speak up for other women, big things happen. And as you remember from earlier, my first mentor, he was a man. And so it was a very powerful thing to have him be that driving force. I felt absolutely fearless. So don't assume and don't imply that things are okay by being silent. I think the big takeaway that I want you to have tonight is that Baltimore has the potential to be the top place for women to work, where we can bring women to the table to push society forward, we can push our city forward and push our companies forward. And when we come together as equals, when we stand up and really advocate for each other and advocate for the people that can support us in our roles and in our communities, that we feel empathic, we feel compassionate, we feel momentum, and I think we feel really damn valuable and connected. Thank you so much.